Recorded live with little or no editing. It's Defense Up. I'm Run 7. How you doing? Today we're going over X's War Defense, and if you want your defense featured, the links are down in the description. You can do Cosmic Crucible too. But for War Defense, we like to grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their placement, their power levels, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Now remember, we're just generating ideas for people. These things are always subject to change, and more as our rosters get bigger and bigger, we're coming up with less cookie cutter teams and more hybrids. And that means there's a lot more things that you can do. So don't be offended by my grades if I grade you hard or easy. It's just the way I think about it. Team number 1 is a Doom Brotherhood with Doc Ock in here. Okay, so the Doom Brotherhood team is an oldie and probably going to be a goodie as we get the new rework to Magneto later today, or whenever you're watching this video. The patch should have dropped by now. I do like Magneto as a skirmisher currently. I don't know what he's going to go to with the rework coming later today. And then Doc Ock is a little bit useless. In fact, you kind of don't want Doc Ock putting deflex on Doom because you want Doom to get damage. The idea being here is that the deflect is going to keep him from getting ability block, but it's a 20% resistance check. And honestly, I don't know. I think the ability block's either gonna land or it's not. But yeah, the redundancy of having the deflex coming off of Doc Ock and Blob is unnecessary. Personally, I think just having a faster Brotherhood by putting in like a Juggernaut in here or something like that is probably gonna be better than Doc Ock. This team gets crushed by the Zemo factor. Of course, a lot of people are saving Zemo for that Tangled Web team. So if you put this up, it's probably a good thing if they use the Zemo Dad Bro combo in here. So I kind of like throwing this up here right now, and I'm especially curious to see what happens after the rework and throwing in more of those Darkseid members into this team. You definitely want Skirmisher on Toad, not Raider. That'll allow him to flip and clear and do the things he does on his opening move. Blob is a fortifier on here. I don't really like that. If he's underdeveloped, you can make him a fortifier, but I like him as a Skirmisher on defense, a Striker on offense. Striker on offense allows you to choose to go into the vulnerables and the disrupts, and that'll allow you to rewind turn meter and apply all those negative effects. However, the AI does a crappy job of picking targets, so on defense, you want him as a skirmisher so that he just puts out vulnerables for everybody that attacks into him. Doom as a striker is fine. He can also be a raider on defense. Doc Ock as a healer, that's where he should be. And like I said, skirmisher, maybe going to a raider later or a striker later, depending on how that Death Seed team works out, but we just don't know until that really lands. All right, for me, this team is okay. I think it's a little bit of a waste of Doc Ock. It's kind of redundant, and he could be used on something else. You could make this Magneto go even faster with more Brotherhood members in here. I do like the placement, and the idea of using this team right now, so you're soaking up those Zemos and stuff like that, is a pretty good idea. So I'm going to give this a B. I think it just lacks a little bit of execution. Moving on to team number 2 is the Wakandans. This is another team that's probably going to be getting an upgrade with those War Dogs coming out, replacing Killmonger and M'Baku. However, this as is still going to be pretty good. I'd like to see you at least build up your Black Panther a little bit more so you can get some of that opening damage. He's going to get some pretty cool stuff in this rework, and I think it's worth taking him up a little higher. Maybe even Okoye also. No reason to work on M'Baku, though. Shuri and Killmonger are better used on other hybrids, so yeah, I just wouldn't touch M'Baku at this point in time. Again, let's see how these characters actually work before we go putting our resources into them. For this, you definitely want to make Black Panther a striker to get the double taps off of Okoye. He gets turn meter when Okoye assists in a kill, so striker is the way to go there, not Raider. Raider on Killmonger is great. He can be a striker on this team if you want, but he has so much crit stuff built into his kit. I like the Raider. I like the healer on Shuri and Fortifier on M'Baku only because he's small. If you have a bigger M'Baku, you want to go Striker so he gets the combos with Okoye as well. All right, so the power levels definitely need some work. That ISO on Black Panther is really detrimental. I don't like Raider on him whatsoever. And that's about it. The placement's okay. The only reason Killmonger's okay next to M'Baku right here is because Killmonger is so tough. So that's a good placement for these power levels. You mix it up when you get leveled out power levels on the team. I'm gonna go B- on this. I really don't like that Raider ISO on Black Panther. Okay, this is an oldie, but a goodie. I used to tell new players that this was a decent low-level investment team because you could put a little bit into this and gain a lot out of it. At this point in time, though, it's just so old. Everything just smashes away at it no matter what. So it's not worth it to invest in any of these tunes. However, if you happen to have this stuff laying around and you want to use it, the best way to go is Fortifier across the board so that when they die and revive, they have some barrier and it makes them that much tougher to get through. And a lot of times it'll force your opponent to come into it with something that's more designed to take out this team, like a Surfer to strip the charges, or a Black Bolt or Elsa that will kill and they won't revive, that sort of thing. Honestly, though, everything just smashes away this team at this point. Alternative ISOs, though, Fortifier on the tank is good. I kind of like Skirmisher on your Sniper, and Scientist as a healer is good. You can do Raider on Trooper. That's good because when he spawns in, he sprays everybody. You might get some crits out of that. Actually, I'm not really sure if that works that way. People leave comments below and let me know if his on-spawn spraying can crit or not. I'm not really sure about that. And then Healer on Red Skull. I don't really like that either. I'd rather him be a Striker or again, a Fortifier. So this is okay. It doesn't really excite me. I'm going to go C+ because it's really pretty meh. And I feel like you might have wasted some effort bringing up these characters. We've seen in the past people using Red Skull for his speed up maneuver. His turn 1 AI controlled maneuver is a speed up for the entire team. But he's kind of slow, especially in today's meta. So I just don't think Red Skull is worth building at all at this point in time. Team number 4 is a bit of a hybrid. It's the SA with some other SHIELD members. Now they've got good SHIELD synergy. You've got Black Widow speeding up the team. You've got Sam speeding up the team. You've got the taunts coming off of Captain America and Captain America, and then you've got the deflex being, blocking and proccing the crit of Maria Hill and Sharon Carter, 7 red stars and all that focus bonus. She's just landing everything and controlling the field. This is actually a really cool defense. You're saving some of the better characters. You're getting rid of Fury on defense, right? Because he's a liability. I really kind of like this. Skirmisher Striker on the combos. You've got Skirmisher on Black Widow for clearing positive effects. Fortifier on Captain America. He's just there to take that taunt, take hits, block, and do all that sort of stuff. So I'm okay with that. And then you got Healer on Maria Hill. This is fantastic. I don't have any problems with this. I really like the placement. You've got your invisible character in the middle, dividing up the team. I'm going to give you an A+ for this. It's pretty cool. And, your low-level Black Widow isn't even a problem because she goes under stealth and tends to not die or get hit anyway. So this is a really useful use of what you've got in your roster. I like it. Team number 5 is the Hero Asgardians. Okay, so we're seeing this a lot. You're seeing if I make my finger point the right direction, you're seeing these 3 being paired up, and we don't like that. Big Black Orders and such can come in there and hit that 3-piece and do a lot of damage to them, opening it up for some different combos and stuff like that. So break that up somehow. Swap one of them out with Heimdall. Honestly, it doesn't really matter which. You could throw Thor over there, whatever you want. Just break up that 3-piece so they can't hit as many people. Sif is a Fortifier. Heimdall is a Skirmisher. No, we want Heimdall as a Raider. In fact, you kind of want the whole team as Raider. The only ones that you can switch as Strikers are going to be Lady Thor and Valkyrie. They can be Strikers. I run them as Raiders, but I don't dock for Striker. They have really good basics. And then Sif as a Fortifier or a Raider is the way to go. We don't want Thor as a Striker anymore. People have told me their reasoning for Striker on that, and I get it. Raider's the way to go. So for me, we need a placement change. We need lots of ISO changes. I like that Heimdall is low powered in here so that he dies. You can't blind him, but if he dies, that's going to trigger Valkyrie's passive and just wreck people. So that's pretty cool. Might actually be a reason to keep Heimdall near Valkyrie. So actually, I'm not going to dock you for keeping that 3-piece together. I think this is the only instance when you want Heimdall next to Valkyrie. That's something new I hadn't thought of. So, okay. So basically, we just need the ISO changes on this one. That'll really help me for it. I'm going to go Yeah, I really don't like those ISOs. I'm going to go B+ for this. You got a little bump in the stats for seeing this low-powered Heimdall next to Sif. I kind of like that, actually. All right, team, if I can find it, team 6. This is the Axemen combined with the Unlimited team. You've got Rogue and Gambit in there, and you've got Bishop off to the side. Next to Beast, though, I don't like that. I don't like being next to Beast. Beast really helps out the 3-piece in here. How's that going to play out? Okay. Okay, I think for this team, you should change Beast to a skirmisher. Because remember, on defense, the AI isn't going to be spamming the heal. It's going to be doing whatever attack comes up next. So sometimes he's going to be called in for the assist, and you want him as a skirmisher to get the triple tap off of Bishop. So let's change him to a skirmisher. I guess the placement is okay. I think I'd rather see Gambit and Beast swap places. Gambit goes invisible. You're keeping your taunters on one side of the invisible person and keeping the rest of your Axemen alive and healthy. So, yeah, but then again, I mean, there's a case to be made for putting Jubilee next to Rogue over there, so she gets hit and speeds up Beast, but yeah, I don't like that either. Okay, so yeah, for me, I think it's going to be change the ISO on Beast, swap places with Gambit. If that was the case, I'd give you the A for this team. This is super powerful, but you are breaking up 2 super powerful teams. I'm not sure if it's really worth it. I'm going to give you a B+ for this. Consider just running the full Axemen on defense or offense, or the full Unlimited team on defense or offense. I think you're wasting one or the other teams by doing it this way. Team number 7 is your Infinity Watch, sped up by America Chavez, being fed energy from Thanos, and you're swapping the play with Loki, making Cersei go before Icarus, softening up the other team, absolutely nuking them, and then having Thanos feed all that energy over to Icarus so that he can do it again on the next team that loads into this match. This is a fantastic way to go. I like that you put fortifiers in your front row just for funsies there. You've got Striker Skirmisher on the Eternals. I like this. I think it's a great defense. I'm going to give you an A+ for it. It works really well. You know, this isn't anything new, but it's a really, really efficient way to use the Eternals. And at the level that X is playing, I think this is going to go over really well. Team number 8 is the Young Avengers, throwing in Miles in place of America Chavez. Now, of course, this is war defense, and America Chavez would be speeding up this team, but we're seeing it not matter all that much because people just come into it with like Dark Hunters or something like that. There's the new D-Force or A-Force with Doom that blows this team up also, and it really doesn't matter whether America Chavez is in it or not. So I kind of like pulling America Chavez off of your war defense and throwing her into speed up other people. Remember, that speed up thing only works on war defense. Don't try that in Crucible. Okay, this works just fine for me. Of course, the Web Warriors are not, it doesn't matter if you're pulling Miles off of the Web Warriors. Web Warriors are being blown up by that Bionic Avenger. So I think it's a great place for Miles to go. Great use of this team. The placement is fine. We like Miss Marvel in the corner trying to draw in that Dark Hunter combo. So they don't use Dark Hunters into the Heroes for Hire. So let's see here. We've got 2 strikers, 2 skirmishers, and a healer. I like Kate Bishop as a skirmisher. I like Squirrel Girl as a healer. The reason is we're using Squirrel Girl elsewhere as a healer, and the heals on this team, giving it that sustain to keep it going is a great move. We want the focus boost for KDB so that she lands those blinds. I like all that. Plus the striker skirmisher combo off of Miss Marvel for the other 2. Sounds good to me. I like it. I'm going to give you the A for that team. Team number 9 is the Marauders. Madeline Pryor built way up. You've got a great big thick stripe with healer ISO, not the fortifier. That's a great choice. Great placement on this team. Striker on Maddie. Raider on Mystique. Yeah, that's okay. She bounces around a lot. I think I'd prefer Skirmisher. Not going to dock you for it. Then the healer on Sinister. We're curious if Sinister is going to be a great tune to swap into that Death Seed team until you unlock the Dark Beast. We don't know yet, but you're going to be the guy to try it out. Am I right? So anyway, I like this. This is the best way to do this team. Other than, like I said, I think maybe Skirmisher on Mystique, but Raider works okay as well. You have Skirmisher on Emma. The reason we like Skirmisher on Emma is not because of this team. It's technically healer's the best choice for this team, but we don't want you to waste ISOs building her as a healer because she's so valuable as a Skirmisher, as a plug-and-play character everywhere else in the game. So Skirmisher's great choice there. Yeah, you get an A for this. That's fine. I don't like this team in general. I don't think other people should be building it personally, but you're doing it right. Good job there. Team number 10, the Heroes for Hire. Let's see. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this is Iron Fist is a healer. You should probably change him over to something else like a Skirmisher or a Raider for crit damage or placing vulnerables. Everything that goes into this team uses heal block, and so it kind of gets wasted putting the healer ISO on him. Everything else on this team is good or good enough. I can give you an A- for this. I like the lopsided power levels. I like that Luke Cage is more powerful than everybody else. That used to really matter when we had the 4 out of 5 things happening, the 4 out of 5 blinds landing with the Dark Hunters and everything, but now it doesn't really matter quite so much. But it's still kind of cool to see. So anyways, yeah, I'll give this the A- and pretty good job. So nice work to X on this one. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, share it with your alliance. Help me get those views and clicks and all that jazz. And remember, guys, don't just have a good game, be good to yourself and others too. And I'll see you next time. Bye.